Good morning from Stavropol. When you arrive at about 4:30 in the morning, it is not warm. They are stunning. Every single one of them. More communist, Soviet stuff. Just exactly what I like. Kvass, the greatest drink in the former Soviet Union. Monuments aren't that interesting to other people, only really to you. Good morning from Stavropol. It's a city in the south, and I thought, being in the south, it'll be a lot warmer. When you arrive at about 4:30 in the morning, it is not warm. It's fine in the sun, but anyway, first time in the south. There's going to be a few first times on this journey. So how about I show you the city when it's not crazy o'clock. Here now we've come to the centre of the city, and the weather is a lot better. It's bloody boiling, but who knows, maybe it'll get worse, maybe it'll get better. Definitely on this journey it will get worse, in my opinion. But the city isn't so bad actually. I thought it would be a kind of small, rundown, southern Russian city that not many people visit, but it's nice. The weather's good, the buildings are nice. How about I go and show you some more? We don't have very long in this city, so whilst we're here we're going to have to find some adventures to go on. But I literally knew nothing about the city before coming here, didn't read anything. I just kind of knew where it was and that we had to spend a few days here. So it's a true first impressions. So here we're on the main square, and I think it's called Lenin Square, named after the man himself. I was told by my wife, you know, monuments aren't that interesting to other people, only really to you. But I'm going to show you monuments anyway. It's what drives my passion for the former USSR. I just love old communist grand squares, just huge, beautiful, concrete, best type of architecture. There are also quite a lot of beautiful parks and scenery here. When my wife was reading about different cities to move to, possibly in the future, the one thing she read about Stavropol was just how green it is, and being here you can really see that. There's so many parks, there's so many things to do outside. It's the perfect summer city, I think. I don't know what it's like in winter, maybe it's not so similar then, but for the summer it's pretty damn nice. Отлично.
Ну, в Курске лучше явно здание правительства.
Почему?
Ну, такое непримечательное белое здание.
So the parks here are really well developed. So you've got all these fountains everywhere, monuments, statues, benches to sit down, trees, it's all well looked after. Wonderful little plots of land filled with flowers. It's a beautiful city, you just can't say that it's not. And here we are at another war memorial. Feels a bit strange smiling at that. Let's go and have a look. Let's rate it. How does it compare to Voronezh, Kursk, and any future city that we go to? Look at this. I think this one's a beauty. So I've decided to create a little system for rating the different memorials that we see around the former USSR. And it's called the Monumeter. I think this one gets a 7 out of 10 on the Monumeter. I like this one. If you look over here, it's got all these small little touches, which I think really adds to it. Like when we're in Kursk, didn't really see many things like this. In Verona is definitely not. You have all of this with the ribbons. If you've watched the Kursk video, then you'll know about these. It's a good memorial. Along the sides of the memorial, you have all the different hero cities of the former Soviet Union. I hope to go to every single one of these and make a video about each one, because these stories need to be told. Each one, so many people died to defend and eventually liberate them from Axis forces. I've heard that the salaries here aren't so great, but it's such a beautiful city. Like, we've considered moving here, let's put it that way. Maybe only in the summer, I don't know what it's like in the winter, but for things to do, for the parks, the scenery, I might be coming round to the idea that it's better than Kursk. Perhaps. Nothing will take Kursk out of my heart though. If you are lucky enough to come to Russia, one of the things that you have to go and visit are the churches. They are stunning. Every single one of them. I've not been to one which doesn't look like a museum in itself. Что такое шефский дом?
Шефский дом?
Да.
Ну, шеф, как начальник, наверное.
Like every Englishman on holiday, I'm going to say these words. It's too bloody hot. And so to fix that, how about we go and get a refreshing drink? A very Soviet refreshing drink. Kvass, the greatest drink in the former Soviet Union, as some people think. Probably one of the most refreshing, but it's like Marmite, you either love it or hate it. My family back in England had some imported, they didn't like it. My wife, not the greatest fan, but I'd say it's kind of like root beer, like the sort of Soviet root beer. Well, that's some good kvass, especially in the sun like this. It's definitely a summer drink.
Ну да.
А что это такое у нас за подсъемчик?
Что?
Подсъемчик.
Интересно.
У нас, к сожалению, нельзя снимать. Можете убрать.
That place wouldn't let us film, so we're going to find somewhere else, show you the prices, show you the food, maybe somewhere nice for you to go, and if you want to film, then we'll find you somewhere you can film. We just ate at this place, and it was incredible. I absolutely love blini. My wife agrees. It's called Vorblin, and they actually let us film in that wall. I filmed and I didn't get moaned at, so that's more than enough for me. But they only came to just over 800 rubles for these two pretty decently sized blini. I was happy. Some strange flavours as well. We're definitely going there tomorrow for breakfast. So over here you have a restaurant that serves Georgian food, Starokin College. Now, on any normal day I might think about going in there, but you'll see in a future video why we're going to wait to try some Georgian food. So subscribe, hit the bell button if you want to see that. And here we have more communist Soviet stuff, just exactly what I like. But this one isn't a Soviet man, it's a German who moved to England. Karl Marx. This street is named after him, by the way. Like most cities in Russia, or I think still in Belarus, you'll find all these old communist names for streets. Now we have Karl Marx Street here, and then one of the other streets just around the corner is named after the October Revolution. It's exactly what I like. A little bit of Soviet history still surviving. So here we have a monument, and I don't even know who this guy is or anything, but it's in this kind of park that's in between these two sides of the road, which is kind of interesting. And it's absolutely stunning around here. But are you lot bored with me just showing you all these different monuments? Because if you are, put them in the comments and I'll stop. But for me, this is the most interesting part of travelling around this country. So in the meantime, I'll keep showing monuments. Once again, if you want to see these photos, follow me on Telegram, follow me on Instagram. So I think that Stavropol is honestly one of the better cities of Russia that I visited. It's not so much a touristy city, but it's still from the south, so you get the nice weather, get the nice things to do. We could go on like day trips to stuff like Kislovodsk, to the mountains, but we just didn't have enough time. We definitely have to come back. Also, unfortunately, I would show you the flats, but it's not as wonderfully Soviet as the one in the Voronezh video. It has its quirks, but it was pretty cheap as well. Pretty close to the centre. It's the one thing that is quite good about Russia, I'd say, is just the pricing of accommodation. At least if you're from the Western perspective. The neighbourhood's pretty cool, I think. Maybe a bit covered in graffiti, but cool. And here we have this strange, slightly run down little Soviet memorial, which of course attracted me. Like, if you've watched any other video at all from this channel, you should probably know that that's exactly what I like. I'm not 100% sure whether it's for Liberation of Stavropol or something like that, because honestly, I know nothing about the history of this city. So it's kind of tucked away in the middle of nowhere, a nice little memorial. Who doesn't like a Soviet memorial? So we decided to come on this wheel. I don't entirely understand why, but I think it'll be a good view of the city at least. I don't even remember how much it was. But let's have a look at the views.
Мне кажется, у нас курсы.
Well, that was exciting. So around here you have all these like different rides in this area, and my god, I think I've just found my ride. What the fuck? My personal ride. Who wants to go? So around here in the centre you just have a load of birds that are singing, which I think just adds a sort of nature atmosphere of Stavropol. But even better, you have all these little houses for them, which I think is either from just like normal citizens or from like schools and stuff like that. I think it's really sweet. Looking after them properly, look. You don't see that very often in England, at least from where I'm from. Well, that's the end of our time in Stavropol. Now we're going to be heading on to another journey, which will be a very Soviet mountain border crossing. So how about you join me on that in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Ветер лишь поет, а по морю тихо пароход плывет. Чайки лишь помашут крыльями во след. Передай наш поезд всем друзьям привет.